Well, we've got 3 brand new lights from Milwaukee. It looks like all of them are on the M18 platform, but not so quick. There's a little asterisk for that, and we'll get into that here in one moment. One of them in our favorite packaging, the blister pack. Let's open these up and see what we get. Well, all 3 of these lights are in the M18 ROVER family, but obviously different lights by far, especially from the bottom of the level right here all the way up to the big 3 panel here. But let's go over the smaller one right here. This is the 2359-20. It's the M18 ROVER, but it's the compact folding floodlight with USB charging. Now, that does not mean that you can charge the Milwaukee battery with a USB Type-C, but it means that you can utilize this for, say, charging a personal device when you have a battery hooked to it. Now, I think it seems pretty obvious that this will fit any battery from your compact series M18 all the way up to the 5.0 battery and even into the largest, the HD 12.0 Forge battery as well. So no problem with connecting any battery you want to on this light for different run times, but you really don't need to worry about a battery like this when on the 5.0 you will get up to, even on high, let's turn that off, it's kind of bright. So on the high setting you're going to get 1,000 lumens, and that 5.0 battery is going to last you 12 full hours on high. Now you can turn that down to medium, which is going to give you 500 lumens and get up to 22 hours of output, and get 42 hours of output on low, and that's still giving you 250 lumens of light. Now there's also, I think, what they're calling like super low, or no, I think they're calling it ultra low, which is like 85 lumens, which, hey, listen, a night light or just something to give you a little bit of light during the darkness, that's still a great setting, and that's going to last you 110 hours on the 5 amp hour battery. So do your calculations, and with a 12.0 battery, you're talking, you know, multiple days. Simple power button that's just going to turn this on and off. Make it very simplistic. So you turn it on, turn it off, and then your mode button right here is going to cycle through the settings. I believe that's ultra low, which is 85 lumens. There's high at 1,000 lumens, medium at 500 lumens, and low at 250 lumens. Now, the cool thing also about all of these ROVER lights is you get the true view lighting. What does that mean? Well, Milwaukee's done a lot of work in their drivers and their LEDs to make sure that when you're using their LEDs, you're getting that true view lighting. In other words, much like the sunlight would give you, it's not ultra orange or yellow like a very dimmable setting would be, and it's not ultra bright or blue or over whitened, if you will, which a lot of LEDs will tend to do as well. So again, with the true view lighting, you're getting a lot better idea of the actual picture. So especially when you're working with colors, whether it be paint or, you know, just the non-harshness of the light as well. So you're getting the true view lighting included in that. Right here on the front, or where you would have the battery gauge here on the battery, the fuel gauge, is your USB port. So you have a Type-C port right here. You also get a USB Type-A port, and then basically a power on button as well. So even though you have something plugged in, until you power that on, it's not going to drain the battery. So you can plug in your phone, your personal device. You can even set it right here if you wanted to, and be able to rotate this. I believe this is like pretty much 360 degrees. I think they're claiming 355 degrees. So very close to a full rotation. And then, like, I don't know, it looks like 180 plus degrees of movement right there as well on this light rotation. And by the way, if you're using this for construction, then great. Then you have your rafter hook right here that you can hook on a 2x material or 1x material or whatever, you know, steel trusses, whatever it may be. However, you can also quickly remove the rafter hook. And by the way, those are, I believe, T8 or Torx number 8 fasteners. And now you have a lot flusher side there that's a little more compact. And if you're just using it around to provide light and use the battery as a base, which it's a great base for, then obviously it's a little bit slimmer there. Anyway, pricing on this is $79, and that's for the bare tool, and should be available now, as well as it's IP54 rated for water and dust resistance. And you get a 5-year warranty. And by the way, on the output on the USB, you're going to get 12 watts output on the USB Type A and 27 watts of output on the USB Type C. Now let's take a look at the next one in the series here. This is the model number 2358-20. So this was the 59-20, and now we have the M18 ROVER 2358-20, which is the clamping floodlight. Now this thing's pretty cool because it has a lot of versatility as far as clamping, connecting, using a base, whatever. You also get a rotating head here and up to 2,000 lumens. We'll go over the power settings in just one moment. It will fit any M18 battery. We have a 5.0 in there, and just to show you, I can put in the big brother. Tight squeeze there. But there's the 12.0 forged battery in the clamp light and still clearing the bottom and everything else. So it's not sitting on the battery itself, sitting here on the bottom, which, by the way, I believe this has a drop test rating of 9 feet as well. So when you do have your high dollar batteries in there, then you want to make sure they're protected from the fall. So this is all protecting it like a roll cage would be in a car or vehicle. Now you have a very strong spring clamp here that will hold tight, and in fact that will hold up to on 3-inch pipe there, also smaller 1-inch pipe right here as well. So you really have two different round holding points. So up to 3-inch pipe here and up to 1-inch smaller pipe here. So if you have some PVC or conduit, copper, something like that you want to clamp to, you can do so on the smaller one as well. And then we have this gap here, which this is made for steel studs. So if you're in an area where metal studs are being used and you can't just clamp to a 2x4, then basically you got that gap there that it will clamp to, and you're still jam up and ready to go. Now also on the bottom, we have magnets. So if you're working around metal buildings, things like that, even sitting on your tool chest, whatever it may be, you have the magnets there to be able to clamp on that way as well. Or even use the little nail or screw holder right here. So you have a little concave area there that it will actually hang on a screw or on a nail. So several ways to mount this light. As I mentioned, 2,000 lumens of output. We have the battery in there. Again, the same simple procedure here on the Rover light. So power button turns on and off, and the mode button will cycle through the different modes. And in this case, it's 2,000 lumens on high. So there's the high at 2,000 lumens, and 1,000 lumens in medium and 500 lumens on low. Now runtime on this, on the 5 amp hour battery, so using the 5 amp hour on low, you're going to get 24 hours of runtime. And then on medium, you're going to get up to 12 hours with the 5.0 battery. And then on high, you're going to get 6 hours of output from the 5.0 battery. And again, that's at 2,000 lumens. Again, we get the true view lighting as well. And by the way, just to point something out with the simplistic buttons, if you will, let's say that I want to run this on medium. Right now we're in high, and let's go to medium at 1,000 lumens, and I turn it off. When I turn it back on, I don't have to cycle through. It's not going to start on low or high. It's actually going to start where I left off in medium. My next setting is going to be low. There goes the low, and then back to high. So wherever you left it when you turned off the light, that's where it's going to return when you turn it back on. I think it's like almost 360 degrees of rotation there. I think they're saying 355, and again, like they're saying 70 degrees of rotation. That's a lot more than 70 degrees of rotation. That's more like probably 170 or 180. Maybe it was supposed to say 170, or maybe I read it wrong. Regardless, you can see the full rotation from basically flat to flat, so getting that full 180 degrees. This is also IP54 rated, and it has a 5-year warranty, and it's $119 as a bare tool. Now, we don't see this one available yet, but it should be available in the coming weeks. And now we have the 2368-20, and this is a pretty cool little light here. It kind of tucks away, hides itself, hides all the lenses. So you see it's folded up around the light. We have a nice roll cage around here, and whether we're running a 12-0 battery, which it will fit just fine. So you see again, roll cage is protecting the battery on all areas, even on the largest battery. And obviously a small 5.0 is going to fit in there just fine as well. Same 2-button design. However, we have a different mode button. So we have the brightness button as well as a mode button. And the reason is because we have multiple panels now that we're working with. So I get that. I love the simplicity of the other ones where you have a power on and off, which the same as here. You're going to power on and off, and then you're going to have a mode button to change the different panels, as well as a brightness button to cycle through the different 3 different power modes. But I really like it that it's kind of protecting all the lenses in this format here. It's also, I believe, drop tested at 9 feet as well. But let's open this up. So we do so just by opening these panels here and then folding this up. And by the way, you can tuck these panels also behind here, so you can kind of get lighting 360 degrees. So you can really set this in the best location that you need it and in the best format. And then obviously we get this rotation as well. So we can line up those 3 panels and just shine in one area and rotate it, or we can fold them back and give us 360 degrees of lighting as well. By the way, 4,500 lumens of output if you have all 3 panels on and all of them on high. And on a 5.0 battery, that's still going to give you 3 hours of runtime. So all 3 panels on high, 3 hours of runtime. 2 panels on high is going to give you 3,000 lumens, and that's going to give you about 4 hours of runtime. And 1 panel on high is going to give you 1,500 lumens and about 8 hours of runtime, and that's on the 5.0 battery. You boost it up to a larger battery, you're going to get longer runtime. Here's the other cool thing about this light. Many cool things, but anyway, right here on the side, basically we have the ability to run this off of an extension cord. So we can run it off 120 volts and not require the battery, or kind of, lay low on our battery and save that juice for when we don't have power. It's also a sealed box here, so we get a rubber gasket around this AC inlet to keep that protected, because it does have the IP54 rating as well. And just like on the other Rovers, we get the True View lighting on the 4,500 lumens or whatever setting we have, but we're still getting the True View lighting on here. Power this up. That should be, yeah, there's high, so 4,500 lumens, 1,500 lumens a piece. And if I hit my mode button, that's going to shut 2 of the panels off. Hit the mode button again, it's going to turn the middle one off. And so you can see it cycling from 3 to 1 to 2. And then the brightness is going from low to medium or high, or from high to medium to low. And then again, the power button is just going to turn that on and off. And again, when I cycle the power back on, it's going back to my previous setting. So if I've got 2 panels on medium, I go to lunch, I come back, I turn that back on, I'm going to get that same setting, the 2 panels on medium. You bump that up and change our mode to all 3, and you can see again, now we're getting a full 360 degrees of lighting from this little guy. Now it provides an excellent base just to sit on, but also on the bottom we get a magnetic base. We also get a pull-out hanger or handle or hook or whatever you want to label that, and that tucks away in the unit. I love that. We also have keyholes here if we want to mount these on screws or nails, and then we also have a magnetic base as well, and then the rubber feet on here also. If it's sitting on like stainless or aluminum, it's going to be anti-marring or non-marring, if you will. But really cool light that kind of protects itself. So when you're throwing it around, beating it around, it gets kicked around. This is a great light for that. That's going to run $179 as a bare tool. You're going to get 5-year warranty on all of these. And so we're talking about $79 bare tool, $119 bare tool, $179 for the bare tool. So some more cool lights from Milwaukee. And again, we get dual input for this. So we can run this on 120 volts or on the battery, and they'll all accept all the M18 batteries without issue. Hey, be sure to keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even TikTok. And if you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And by all means, if you hated our video, well, give us a thumbs down. But would you let us know in the comments why? Have a great day. Keep smiling.